Sometimes it's really tough to say thank you or to be thankful. And I think about the 54-day novena. You may know about this. It's a very, very powerful prayer. The idea is that you pray a rosary every day for 54 days. It basically breaks down to 6 9-day novenas. So a novena is 9 days. Take 9 times 6, that's 54. So basically you're praying 3 9-day novenas in petition for whatever your need might be. And then another 3 9-day novenas in thanksgiving for God answering your prayer of petition. And the difficulty is you're supposed to be praying those 3 9-day novenas of thanksgiving before the prayer is even answered. It might get answered before then, but normally in my experience, every time I pray it, I'm praying those 27 days, those 3 9-day novenas in thanksgiving. And I'm going, thank you for this thing that hasn't happened yet, but I believe you will. And so this confidence issue just bombards me, right? Giving thanks before it happens. It seems counterintuitive. But here we are still in the month of the Rosary, and it is a time to give thanks. And I just wanted to let you know, I let a lot of you know already, that I kept my promise to you. A few weeks ago, I said, if you have a prayer intention, let us know. We're going to be offering up prayers for you, offering up our rosaries every night throughout the course of October, and we're continuing to do that. But I also said that I was going to take your prayers with me to adoration, go sit in the adoration chapel and offer up each one of your prayers. And let me just tell you, I was blown away by the number of prayers that we got. I don't want you to see all the details of these, but this is a spreadsheet I did of all of the prayers that were sent in. And I went up last week and I sat down and prayed for each one of these, one by one. And it was really humbling for me to do this because I think a lot of us have a tendency to get caught up in our own needs, and we oftentimes forget to pray for other people, or it's difficult to pray for other people, or we don't have that confidence that God will actually answer our prayers for other people. And so going up there, as I started to go through this list, I had this overwhelming feeling of we're supposed to be doing more of this. And I was so thankful for that moment and that realization as I'm praying over these different prayers that were sent in. These are prayers for people that are unemployed and people that are having financial issues and people that are dealing with cancer and death in their family and great loss of parents and siblings and spouses and friends and people just really struggling. And then here I am sitting there giving thanks for all of these things. And it seems counterintuitive, but we should be always giving thanks, right? I quoted this a few weeks ago in a video where I said from Philippians chapter 4, to give thanks in all circumstances, both the good and the bad. God has the ability to bring good out of any negative situation. It doesn't mean that He wants us to be suffering, that He wants all these difficulties to be in our lives, but when these things do happen, and they will, that God can bring blessings out of it. And I just want to let you know that you are a blessing to me, and that I am very thankful for the opportunity to pray for you. We're still in the month of the Rosary right now, and Pope Pius IX, he is famously known for saying that if I had an army praying the Rosary, I could conquer the world. Interesting fact, I never even knew that quote when I came up with the name Rosary Army 19 plus years ago for this apostolate. It wasn't until after I started Rosary Army that I learned that Pius IX had said that, and it was during the year of the Rosary that was proclaimed by Pope John Paul II. And reading things like Rosarium Virginis Mariae, his beautiful document about the Rosary, that I learned about that wonderful God coincidence, because it was certainly of God. It wasn't just some random coincidence that happened. But the idea of having an army of people confidently, right, thankfully praying the Rosary, truly God will do amazing things. And we're celebrating also during the month of October an anniversary of the last apparition of our Blessed Mother at Fatima way back in 1917. October 13th, 1917 was the last appearance of our Blessed Mother at Fatima. And she encouraged us to do what? To do penance and to pray the Rosary every day. And so you pray the rosary every day, and sometimes it gets routine and sometimes it gets boring. Well, again, what if we take Pius IX's advice and we turn it around and we start offering up these rosaries in thanksgiving? Thanksgiving for our own sufferings and difficulties, because we know God can bring great things from these things, and offering them up in thanksgiving for all of the people in your life, even if they're dealing with difficulties. And if we change the way that we're looking at these things and truly start offering up thanksgiving. I can't help but think about my great Aunt Lil, and people who listen to the podcast that my wife and I produce every week, Adventures in Imperfect Living, have heard me talk about my great Aunt Lil. And my great Aunt Lil meant so much to me as a kid. She was an artist and a writer. She edited a Christian women's magazine when she was alive, and just a huge, huge inspiration to me. We even named our one and only daughter after my great Aunt Lil. And in one of my Bibles, this is my New Testament and Psalms that I carry with me. It's pocket sized, and I can keep it in my jacket when I go to church. I actually have, there's Aunt Lil right there. I love that lady so much. And you can also see little 10-year-old Greg in the background there. This is from the early 80s. But I keep in my Bible, right in Philippians chapter 4, a letter that my great Aunt Lil sent to me way back in 1985. And it's so great because it's all typed, and you can see her scrawls all in it and the little corrections she made. She was an editor of a Christian women's magazine, so she was constantly editing. But in this, over and over again, she talked about, my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches in glory in Christ Jesus, from Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. And really, this letter helped me continually hone in, because I've carried this again. I got this in December of 85. I've been carrying it ever since then. And I keep it here, but it led me to that passage right before Philippians 4:19, which says, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Let all men know your forbearance. The Lord is at hand. Have no anxiety about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And then here's a promise that we get. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, will keep your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. It's a great, great reminder. Jesus is watching out for us. He takes that thanksgiving as well as our prayers of petition, and he can do amazing things in our lives. So let's keep offering up our rosaries for each other during the course of October and onward, every day, as our Blessed Mother said. And thank you again for being a part of Rosary Army, for giving me and my family and Rosary Army soldiers around the world the opportunity to pray for you. We greatly appreciate it. We appreciate you. I'm thankful for you today. Until next time, make them, pray them, and give them away. God bless.